Hello everyone and welcome to Guys with Cameras TV. I'm Mike Zahora.
I'm Ed Lau.
Let's get started with the first camera.
This is the news.
There we go. It's the Olympus Stylus 1. Let me just go over the specs here quickly. It's going to be $700. 12 megapixel CMOS sensor. 28 to 300 millimeter equivalent constant f2.8 lens.
Not bad.
It has something called super macro with a 2-inch minimum focus.
2 inch, so right, like this
Yes.
far away from your, if you want to take a picture of your food really close up.
Exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. And it shoots full HD video, 30 frames per second, and it has built-in Wi-Fi.
You know, when they announced this, I sort of expected a little bit more. I thought it would be more of a competitor to the X100, which is an APS-C sensor. I thought this would be an APS-C sensor,
Yeah.
but it's actually like one of those larger compact camera sensors.
Exactly.
This is more, I think, the price and the size, well, not really the size, but all the other things. I think this is a pretty much competitor for the Sony RX100, which is I think the best rated compact camera right now, high-end compact. And the only differences I see between this and the specs-wise anyway, I think the Sony goes down to a 1.8 at the low end, but this is a constant 2.8.
Exactly.
And it's got a 10 times zoom.
10 times zoom, yeah. It's like a little mini OMD.
Yeah, it is. Actually, it's not as small as I thought it would be. I thought it would be smaller, to be honest. But, yeah,
so it's an OND with a smaller sensor.
Not bad, yeah. Not particularly excited about it, though, are you?
It's not a super exciting camera, but a lot of people, do like these kinds of cameras.
If it was a 4/3 camera, I'd be much more interested. Of micro 4/3, of course, yeah.
Well, that was the OMD.
Yeah. But, I mean, an OMD with a fixed lens, I think that would sell, too.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look at the what am I thinking of? The X100. The X100 is, you can't buy that camera. It's sold out everywhere.
Yeah. I like the idea of having a fixed lens. I mean, not having a fixed lens, of being able to change lenses and getting what I want. And, zoom lenses, I don't know, maybe call me a camera snob or whatever. I would prefer a prime over a zoom lens.
I'm that way too. I like primes as well. I'd actually only own one zoom, and that's I bought it out used. It's a really old zoom. But yeah, I agree with you. I would rather have primes all over the place.
So that's just our opinion. A lot of people do like zooms, and if you get higher end zooms, they're
perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get back to this Nikon thing we talked about last week.
Oh, right. So we finally got some looks in on the 4th and 5th video.
Yeah.
The 4th and 5th pure photography video from Nikon.
So this kind of, you're looking at this and you're going, okay, well, we got a dial there with all the, the shutter speeds and everything, and, right? I like this. From this angle, the camera looks great.
I agree with you. I mean, I think that this moving back to mechanical dials makes. I mean, even when you don't have to look at the camera to really know where it is and stuff. And I think that going back to mechanical dials and mechanical stuff on cameras is a good thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, when I was
you don't have to dig through menus and whatever.
Exactly. When I was shooting with cameras like this, years ago, right, it just became second nature for me to just put my thumb over the dial and just move it to whatever shutter speed I wanted to. And this sort of goes back to it. But the big thing right now, a lot of people are complaining about this angle.
That looks just like any other Nikon right now, doesn't it?
Well, it does. It does. But here's the thing, though. It's a digital camera. Right? So you got
to have these things.
You got to have these things, right? People are going, oh, pure photography, pure photography. We don't want all this stuff on the back. Well,
if you don't want to, there's an easy solution. Go buy yourself a $100 FM2 and shoot on film. I mean, but if you're going to have a digital camera, you're going to need things like, well, I don't know what any of this stuff does, but I assume this is, autofocus, AF lock.
You've got AF and
stuff like
AE
that.
lock and things like that, but you're going to need it. You still need that kind of stuff. I mean, if you go to like full manual everything, then you probably won't need like an AE lock and all
it's easy.
That.
Shoot film.
Shoot film, exactly. And trust me, you can still buy film cameras.
Yep. We have film cameras here. Not that one works.
That one doesn't even work.
But what I'm kind of disappointed with this is it's not as small as I thought it would be. I thought it would be much smaller. Like an FM2. An FM2 is a small camera, like that old, not rangefinder, but you know what I mean. That old style of SLR. But this kind of looks rather large. I don't know how big this guy's hand is.
He could be a tiny guy. We don't know.
He could be very small.
He could be this big.
But what if he's average size?
Well,
his hand's going to be. It's going to be this big.
It's still going to be a fair size camera.
Yeah. I thought it would be more of a competitor for mirrorless, like larger mirrorless cameras, like the EM1 or stuff like that, or even like the new I think the A7 and A7R are going to be smaller than this, and
we'll have to kind of see when they officially announce it and give us all the details.
Apparently, it'll be November 5th. November 5th,
Something
I believe, is the announcement. So stay tuned. Next week, we'll probably have.
Well, hopefully, we'll have some.
We'll probably be talking about this again.
Like 3 weeks in a row. Way to go, Nikon.
Thanks.
Okay, now the last thing we actually had a bit of a
argument.
I won't say an argument, but we were texting back and forth talking about this Kickstarter.
So I saw this yesterday, actually no, 2 days ago, and it's called the Pixel Stick. It's on Kickstarter, and what it is, it's a light painting device. It's $300. There's an early bird special. It's all sold out at $250, but it's $300 if you want to get in on it, and it's basically it's a Darth Maul lightsaber.
Yeah, it's an LED.
It's an LED stick
yes.
that's programmable so that each one of the LEDs lights up and can be a different color as well. So what you can do with it is you can make all kinds of light painting patterns, and you can even make it so that you walk across the frame, and it becomes like a word or like a graphic or an image or something like that. I saw some like Andy Warhol, Marilyn Monroe paintings done, and I think it's really cool. Like it's not something that you would use every time. Like it doesn't work. It only works in the dark.
That's my complaint about it. Is that it's cool. It does cool things, but for the average photographer, right? They're not going to pay $300 to use something 2, 3, maybe 4 times. And then
it is a niche market. Don't get me wrong. I mean, light painting is a very small part of photography. It's a very small part of photography, but like photography is enormous, and only certain people light paint. But I think that it's so cool that it might bring people to light painting. I would love to try it out.
I think with regards to the light painting end of it, that. Rental houses are going to be the ones who are probably going to make money off of this.
Off this thing?
They're going to buy a bunch of these things and say, hey, we've got it.
I don't know, man.
And then you can rent it for $50 as opposed to dishing it or whatever, $25,
well, you rent it 6 times and you bought one. I don't think $300
that's what I'm saying. Is the average person isn't going to rent it 6 times.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think it's a niche product as well, but I think that $300, it's like $300 buys you next to nothing in terms of photography these days. You can buy like a compact camera, you can buy a flash, or like a couple CF cards, and you're $300 down. So I don't think.
But CF cards you're always putting in your camera.
I know. But I think $300 isn't ridiculous. Like in terms of like my camera bag is almost $300. So I think at $300 it's a fun purchase.
It's definitely a fun purchase.
Yeah. And I think it's really cool. I'd love to try it out. And I've never done light painting in my life. Have you?
Oh yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, I've done it like years ago when I was taking photography.
Oh, okay. I've never done it. I would love to try it out, though. It looks cool.
It's really cool, but my suggestion is if you've got a group of friends who are interested in doing this, just pool your money together.
Well, that's a good idea for pretty much all gear.
No, but I mean, something like this, you're not all going to want to use it at the same time.
Well, it's like buying those like color calibration things.
Yeah.
You never buy one by yourself. You go, hey, you want to split one of these with me? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's basically it.
Is that it?
That's
all
it
we
for
got
the
today?
news. That's all we got. It's been a slow news week.
It's a slow news week. I hope it picks up next week.
Well, I mean, next week we should have the more information on the Nikon camera, and we'll sort of see what else happens. So I'm Mike Zahora. You can find me on Twitter at Michael Zahora.
I'm Ed Lau. You can find me on Twitter at Ed Lau. And we should probably mention our Facebook and all our other sites right now.
Yeah, so what we're going to start doing is in the description below, we're going to have links to our Facebook, our Twitter.
You can find us all over social media stuff.
So
we'll have links. We'll put them in the description. I don't remember all the URLs now anyway. So,
exactly.
Yeah. So see you next week.
Thanks for watching.